On today's show,
Ricky Rubio's injury, Draymond Green wants to annihilate the Cavs, and Ray Allen officially hangs them up.
some guys got paid big, other guys didn't get paid at all. We'll discuss 2013 draft class extensions.
And we'll talk to Uncle Splash, live from Portland ahead of tonight's Dub Blazers game.
It's Tuesday, November 1st. The starter starts now.
Good day, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or joining us live right now on NBA TV or watching a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have all of you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Melis.
Smells like makeup in here.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over there, it is the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
Oh, TK, what do you got, buddy?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters, and yesterday was Halloween, which means costumes.
Yeah.
We went full Batman with Jaleel Jokafor, Batmanu, Catwoman, and I went as Robin Lopez. Shout out to the NBA store for hooking us up with the jerseys, making us look official. Players got in on the act too. Here's Paul Pierce sitting on the Clippers bench in full Rick James gear.
Wow.
And Raptors forward Patrick Patterson went as an 80s b-boy for his post-game interviews, complete with a boombox. But you guys at home had some great costumes as well, so we'll take a look at some of our best NBA fan Halloween costumes, like the Jedi Mind Pick, who went as Stephen Nerdy, complete with dangling mouthguard. Not bad. I also like Paul Winkles, who went as NBA Jam John Stockton, really nailed it from head to toe, literally.
That's good.
He's on fire.
That's good.
Yeah, they're not all great though. Connor Barton and
This
his
one
girlfriend
sucks.
went as old school Gilbert Arenas and LeBron James, but they're really just wearing jerseys. Step your game up. Like this guy. Tans522, who went as Sam Hinkie Jesus, paying homage to the man who set the 76ers up for some long-term success, hopefully, but the best one comes to us from Brad Babinski, who went as Tina Fey Mozgov. Long hair, glasses, and a Mozgov jersey. That's brilliant. If nobody's ever done that before, congratulations on being the first. That's awesome.
All right,
But
guys.
we want to hear from you. If you happen to be an NBA Halloween player or something like that yesterday, send us a tweet at #TheStarters. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking at tweets.
Okay, excellent. All right, got a fun show tonight. We're going to discuss the 2013 draft class extensions, a whole lot of them getting paid yesterday. And we're going to talk to 3D, Dennis Scott, live from Portland. But first, let's play Is This News? If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Trey rounded up some recent NBA headlines. He's going to pitch them to us. And we're going to determine whether or not they're actually news, because not all news is actually news.
That's true.
It's a little known fact. TK, first headline.
All right, our first headline comes from the Pioneer Press, and it says, Timberwolves Ricky Rubio out indefinitely with a sprained elbow. Is this news?
This is news.
It is?
Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio's always hurt.
This is true. But Chris Dunn, who's going to step in here, may be ready to take that starting spot and never let it go.
Wow.
Because he is a very capable, ready rookie. That doesn't usually happen, but this guy, he was asked about coming in and starting his first NBA game, asked if he was going to have butterflies. He said no. That happened in the preseason, but not
You
anymore.
got rid of them in the preseason.
Yeah,
I like that.
I know what my team needs now,
Yeah.
defensively, offensively. We watched him at Summer League. He was ready to play, and that's why the NBA GMs overwhelmingly picked him, even though he was a backup, as the Rookie of the
right.
Year, because they knew, despite having Ricky Rubio in front of him, they picked him as Rookie of the Year. Why? Because he's an NBA-ready player. This is a daunting position for most rookies, but I don't think so with Chris Dunn.
Lee, you must agree because you picked Chris Dunn as your Rookie of the Year heading into this year.
Yeah,
How
I
did
do.
you know?
Obviously, I didn't know Ricky Rubio was going to get injured.
You
but
put a jinx on him or a curse on him. Yeah.
I mean, the Timberwolves, we know, wanted to see how long they could go before they could slowly insert Chris Dunn into that starting lineup to see if he is NBA ready, if he can run an offense with a young guy as well. Karl Anthony Towns and Wiggins, those guys are still learning their positions,
Right.
they're developing. So now they get their chance, the Wolves. It's a little earlier than they would expect, but also this is just another knock on Rubio's career. Like whether or not Dunn is a great player and does take over that role as a starting point guard, it just makes things difficult for Rubio because he's constantly injured.
Yeah.
And this is just another injury that just sets him back and lowers his trade value if
sure.
the Wolves look to try to trade him. But Look, I'm excited for Chris Dunn. I think it's a great opportunity for him.
Yeah, there's a couple things to watch, I think, with this. One is when Rubio did get injured in this game, Dunn came in, of course, and played his minutes, but it was Andrew Wiggins initiating the offense. So I don't think they would do that 48 minutes. I don't think Thibodeau would want Wiggins to initiate the offense in the pick and roll set all 48, but probably in the fourth quarter he would go to that because it is a lot to ask for a rookie, of course, thrown into the fire. This is a team also still looking for that win. So that is big too,
especially
with
Tibbs,
pressure high.
Tibbs likes playing vets. He doesn't really like putting a lot of onus on rookies.
And then a sort of a minor sort of thing to watch is who's going to be the backup point guard in this situation. Tyus Jones, John Lucas III, who will now be on the active list, you would assume. Tyus Jones was a guy that was coming up in trade rumors at the start of the season. Do they showcase him now?
Yeah.
Does he get some minutes because he's suddenly a backup point guard and they still look to trade him? So a couple things there. I mean, unfortunate, you said it there with Ricky, who's, we're still sort of waiting for him to maybe blossom into the upper echelon point guards. He's still great. He's still a great defensive point guard, but he never sort of reached the level that we thought he might reach. But Chris Dunn's going to get a go here, which will be fun. He's thrown into the fire. It's just unfortunate, I think, that it's this early maybe, and they're still looking for that first W.
Yeah, this is a pretty tricky situation for pretty tricky Rubio.
There it is. Trey, next
Let's
headline.
just hope that Chris
forced.
can get it done.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
we're
Anyways,
having fun now.
Our next headline comes from SB Nation. It reads, Draymond Green wants to annihilate the Cavs. Is this news?
Draymond Green making headlines? This is not news. This happens regularly. No, but look, it's understandable that he wants to take revenge on the Cavs after the way the season ended last year. Because if he doesn't get suspended for Game 5, I think everyone believes that the Warriors go on and win that championship. Now,
LeBron James,
not the Cavs.
LeBron James and the Cavs
not the
don't
Cavs,
believe
sure,
that,
of course. But I think most people do feel that the Warriors would have gone on to win it. Now, Steve Kerr has said that, look, Draymond Green doesn't owe us anything. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in this place in the first place. But I think Draymond Green feels that he does owe his team and his fans and everyone who supports him say, listen, I've got to go back. I owe everyone now a championship because of what happened in the last year's finals.
Yeah, that's why I don't care about the word annihilate. But what really makes news in this one-on-one with David Aldridge on NBA.com is his feeling of accountability. That he said it as soon as it happened, throughout the summer months. I messed up. I screwed up. And no one can put that on me. Not that article in ESPN by Ethan Sherwood-Strauss that outlined why he's sort of been a hothead or burning him at both ends. The accountability is all that matters to Draymond Green. That's why that entire write-up was news to me, because I do think Draymond Green, first and foremost, is a very, very, very good teammate, before the bad side of things. He's more of a solution than he is a problem. That's what I got out of reading David Aldridge's piece.
Yeah, and it's a great piece. Recommend you go check it out on NBA.com. The whole thing, not just the plucking of the word annihilate the Cavs. What I love about this, and one of the questions in our season previews, 72 burning questions, I think I got on the hot seat. What's the NBA's biggest rivalry? I went Cavs and Warriors, despite them only playing twice in the regular season, of course, because they're in different conferences, but with the hopes that they maybe meet in a third finals. Because of stuff like this, they don't like each other. It's clear they do not like each other. The Warriors, they're never going to be able to shed the 3-1 blown lead in the finals until they win a title, and probably against the Cavs in a rematch or in a rubber match, I guess. And LeBron's having a Halloween party and he's putting out cookies, basically making fun of the Warriors and Steph and all those guys, little rest in peace tombstone cookies because it's Halloween. I think they're having some fun with it, obviously, but I don't think they like each other. And I think both teams, not just the Warriors, they want to meet in the finals for that rubber match. It's like, who really is the best when hopefully both teams are at full squad? Yeah. And that would be the thing.
I heard LeBron change his address to 3-1.
Oh, you're on fire at ending these right now. Final headline here, TK.
All right, our final headline comes from the San Francisco Chronicle, and it reads, Ray Allen, the NBA's all-time leading three-point shooter, retires. Is this news?
It's not news to
it's
not news to Rondo, who was quoted as saying, "I thought he retired a couple of years ago," but it is news because we thought, we've been talking about it on the show for a couple of years. Hey, will someone pick up Ray Allen for a playoff push or a championship push? He probably still has it. We know the guy's crazy at staying in shape. You don't lose a three-point shot when you're that good, if not one of the best of all times. So I guess it's news in that sense. He's saying, it's officially, I'm done. I'm not coming back.
I'm going to miss this man.
Yeah.
It's great just to sort of wrap it up and look back at everything he did throughout his career. And I love looking back at the bouncy days when he was with the Bucks and the Sonics, when he was scoring over 20 points per game, and he wasn't a shooter. He was just an athletic freak who could take it to the rim whenever he wanted. He could throw down. He was in a slam dunk contest. He could step back. He could create his own shot. And then the glory days came with Boston and Miami later on. He had an incredible career, and it just speaks to his work ethic, how he stayed in shape for those days towards the end of his career. Because a lot of guys, when they're the man in Milwaukee and Boston as he was, may not develop, into a second or third piece like Ray Allen did. He did it so perfectly.
Yeah, nearly 3,000 threes, 10 All-Star appearances, 2 championships on 2 different teams. Not bad career. I mean, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
For sure.
We'd all agree with that, yeah.
In that Players Tribune article, he also said, he was born with this incredible ability to shoot the basketball, but he didn't get complacent with that. He went out and worked and worked and worked to try to maximize it all. And you mentioned, he's 41 years old. I would say most teams in the league, if he said, you know what, I want to come back and try out for your team, they'd find a spot for him because they know, obviously not the guy that's going to be in the starting lineup, but at the end of the game, you'd still love to have the ball in Ray Allen's hands.
The end of the game, or just even to sit for rookies or young guys to look at this guy who, by his own account, says he was borderline OCD. I mean, he would show up at 11:30. He's eating his chicken and rice or taking his nap. He did everything the exact same every single day. He says because of that schedule, it even lost him probably some of the support of his friends and family because he was just so locked in. But yeah, you're right. The shock is any team would probably still want to have a guy like this on their roster.
He also got his tooth fixed the day after winning the championship.
Yeah, that was a weird part in the story. Yeah.
Strange story.
Yeah, very, very strange. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, some NBA players got paid yesterday. We're going to look at some of the 2013 draft class extensions. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the starters. Monday, yesterday, at midnight was the deadline for teams and players from the 2013 NBA draft class to sign extensions to their rookie deals. In the end, 6 guys joined CJ McCollum and the Greek Freak in new 4-year deals. Rudy Gobert, Steven Adams, Victor Oladipo, Gorgui Dieng, just to name a few. As I said, 6 in total, so really 8 from the entire 2013 draft class, and there they are. With a rough estimation on some of these numbers. Gobert, we're hearing $90 million with maybe $12 million in incentives. Same with Schroeder. 62 is being thrown around, maybe 8 in incentives. But there's an idea. Look, these guys are getting some money.
I love seeing it when it gets to triple digits in the hundreds of millions. It just looks a lot cooler here on the board.
It does look cool. And all of those, as I said, those are 4-year contract extensions. Couple questions from this. I think the first one, 2 sort of $100 million men there, again, incentives included, but Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams. I think this is a bit of a tough question, could be wrong. As a building block, who do you pick between those two? If you could only pick one, is it Rudy or is it Steven Adams?
It is tough.
Yeah.
I think Rudy Gobert's better on the defensive end, Steven Adams better on the offensive end, but I'd say Rudy is the more elite player where he leads the other guy on the defensive end. And I think his passing is a little unheralded and his finishing is a little unheralded, so I would take Rudy. Although, who knows what Steven Adams grows into?
Yeah, he's sort of always proving us wrong.
Exactly.
And continues to evolve and develop his game.
Yeah. This is very young in his career. As we said, 2013 draft class, Steven Adams started playing basketball late.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah.
No one expected for him to be what he was coming out of Pitt immediately. He looks sort of like a project. And here we are. He hasn't really had a long span of being great in the NBA quite yet. He had the playoff run last year is when he really exploded.
Yeah.
But who the heck knows with this guy? It feels like his ceiling is very high.
Yeah, I think Steven Adams could have a very solid, consistent career, but he might not be quite as spectacular as Rudy, getting the block shots and the rebounds up in the sort of 15s or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, Steven Adams, on that offensive end, even though he's not a great shooter of the ball, they use him a lot, finishing at the rim, almost, like an Andrew Bogut's been there for the Warriors, just a guy who knows he knows what he can do and knows what he can't do and doesn't really get out of his lane too much.
Yeah, sometimes that's good.
Exactly.
If you've got a whole bunch of talent around you. I'm glad you brought up Bogut. He came to mind to me as well. It feels like Steven Adams one day will be a starting center on a championship team.
Yeah.
Again, doing the dirty work, rebounding the ball, still being able to score. I think I agree with you. Even though you've seen the Jazz early this season, Gobert looks a little bit more involved and better on the offensive end. I think Adams is still better there, but it's a tough one between these two.
And Steven Adams, health-wise, has been more consistent than Rudy Gobert. Had injuries last year, and that might come into it as well down the track. But either way, you're going to get a pretty good player.
From all those guys, again, getting those contract extensions, who do you think will have the best future, the best career? It could be Adams, Gobert. Who do you go with? One of the other guys?
It's a very, very tough question as well, because there's a lot of guys who have promised so much, and we're not going to find out for a couple of years just how good they are. But I'm going with CJ McCollum, last year's most improved player. He improved his scoring average by 14 points. He's improved already in the couple of games we've seen this season from last season.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be another perfect second or third type of guy on a team. And I think he's already filling that role in Portland. Damian Lillard, it's his team, no one questions that. But CJ McCollum understands his role, and he's playing that really well. I think he's going to be an all-star. I think he's going to be potentially even an all-NBA guy somewhere down the track if he continues to play the way he is. He's a bit like Ray Allen as well. Takes good care of himself, works hard.
I was going to say, are you only picking him because he does bar 3? Is that the only reason? You can say it. You can go ahead and say
Do
it.
the same workout. It's a bond that can't be broken.
You can just see, though, those sort of guys already at this stage, professional and really take their job seriously. And again, he got the biggest deal.
Look, he's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be
Do
great.
you not go with Yanni, though?
I'm going to go with Yanni. I have to. You've got the bar 3 connection. I've got the Greek connection. But CJ McCollum's a bit of an oldie in this draft class. He's 25 years old. Yanni's over 3 years younger than him. Still 21. And he was a late bloomer. He started playing basketball as a teenager. So I think we're still seeing the growth of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he can be a guy who can potentially protect the rim, be a good outside defender on that end. And then we don't know where his game is expanding on the offensive end. It may not get that much bigger, but I think an overall package, I'm going to go with Yanni.
All right. Let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters of those 2013 guys that got the contract extensions. Who do you think will have the best career? Yanni, CJ, Adams, Oladipo, Gobert, on and on and on. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, 3D, Uncle Splash himself joins us live from Portland. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the starters. There are some great matchups on a 9-game schedule tonight, but I'd say the 2 best are on NBA TV. It's the first fan night starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Rockets, Cavs pushed up a little bit earlier because the Indians game. And the second one, Warriors, Blazers. And tell us what's going on in Portland. It's our own 3D. Dennis Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing today?
We're doing so good now that you're here with us. You were at Warriors shoot-around earlier today with all the talk about them gelling and integrating Kevin Durant. How do you feel that they're sort of adapting into this new life, this new era with KD?
I think they're fine, guys. I think with all the hoopla of Kevin Durant finally leaving OKC and going to Golden State, you had the haters on one side, and you have obviously the happy people that are Warriors fans. Well, people have to realize that this process is not going to happen overnight. Talking to Steve Kerr briefly, he just says the fans have to be patient. This will work, and people have to understand that when you go somewhere new, along with the Warriors bench, they have a lot of new faces on that bench as well. So I think patience is the key. They're going to figure it out.
3D, you talked to Damian Lillard for a segment on 3D TV coming up soon. He had an interesting take on how it's different to penetrate the Warriors defense without Andrew Bogut there. Let's take a listen.
With them losing Bogut, that's a huge defensive paint presence. So we gotta attack the paint. It's over to watching the New Orleans game they played, the Phoenix game. They really attacked the paint. And they had a little bit of success in the paint with them playing that small lineup and not having a guy like Bogut back there, cleaning up everything at the rim.
3D, do you agree with him? Do you think it's going to be a huge adaptation for the Warriors, and maybe can KD sort of make up a little bit of that absence?
That is an excellent point that Dame brings up because to me, I think that's the biggest point I think we all need to keep an eye on. There's no way Kevin Durant, Klay, and the rest of those guys won't figure it out offensively to share the basketball and score a lot of points. It's the defense. I think we have to give Golden State Warriors a lot of credit the last 3 or 4 years. That's how the culture had changed. Now that you bring Kevin Durant in, Bogut's gone, Azili's gone, now you have to add Zaza Pachulia and all the other big guys, and Varejao. They're good, solid body movers, screen setters, but they don't block a lot of shots like Bogut, and that's the Dame's point.
One more thing about Dame 3D. He has stated he wants to win MVP. What's your take on him declaring that he wants that most valuable player trophy?
I love it. Finally, we got one of our young superstars in the game that has confidence in himself. He talked about not being a part of the All-Star game, not being a part of the Olympic experience, really motivated him to take care of his body and come back ready to go. So I'm not surprised. I love hearing it because why, guys? He's backing it up. He's off to a phenomenal start. I know it's early in the season, but to have one of our young stars believe in himself like that and back it up, I think is huge.
All right, 3D, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to tonight and maybe an Instagram post from you, a Snapchat from you. You're looking good. The goatee's looking good early in the season, 3D.
Yeah, you gotta follow 3D on social media.
Thank you very much.
All right, one more quick break. Did we have our third wedgie of the season? Can it be? We've already had 2 in 6 nights. Did we get our third in 7 nights? Stay tuned. You're watching The Starters.
Back with The Starters. The month of November has just started and I've already lost somehow. I went out on a limb, took the Nets. What'd they get down? 30 at the end of the first quarter. Anyway, that's a loss for me. Longtime fans of The Starters know every night we are picking these for a reason at the end of the month, and now it is going to be November. The guy with the worst record has to pay it off. It means a number of things: snakes and burning calories and hosting the show from a box and chugging eggnog and pies and all that fun. I'll probably be doing something weird at the end of November because I'm already in the hole, but let's fight. Oh, interesting. Tonight's game, Bucks and Pelicans. 8 p.m. Eastern on NBA League Pass. The 3 of us, Lee, Tass, and myself, are going with the Pelicans. Trey taking the Bucks.
Shout out to Dwayner.
Trey and Lee with a 4-1 record. Who's going to cool off? All right. We had a wedgie. Another one.
3 wedgies in 7 nights of basketball. Malcolm Delaney. It's almost one every second night. A 3-point shot. I watched this live. I had a perfect angle.
Yeah.
That angle exactly. It was glorious.
That's awesome. All right. 3.
Wow.
In your face, 50.
50. We're going to 100.
You're going down,
We're going
50.
for 1,000, baby. Lee, where are we going for very solid play?
Staying at the Fortress, and we have multiple very solid play elements in this one. It starts with Malcolm Delaney here. Little pump fake party from Millsap there. Willie Cauley-Stein, the ball fizzes around, ends up back at Delaney for a
Swish bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Delaney with the wedgie and the swish bomb.
It's never been done before, apparently, but it has been done now. Here it is. Malcolm, not in the middle. He's on the perimeter. That's what I call a very solid play.
All right, good stuff. All right, on today's Twitter show, we discussed predictions we'd like to take back. We got into it a little bit more about Ray Allen's retirement, had a whole lot of fun. And we convinced Lee Ellis here to grow a mustache. Here's a clip.
I just have one question, which is, can we get Lee to grow a mustache for Movember this November?
I've done it in the past. The problem is, Matt, it gets very itchy on my face, and it gets very, very annoying. I mean, I had the big handlebars going and everything. I mean, when I grow a moustache, I grow a proper one, but I get to about 2 or 3 weeks in, I'm like, oh, it's just so irritating on my face.
Tweet us #TheStarters if you want Lee Ellis to grow a mustache for Movember. Not only will it be hilarious, but it's for a great
We'll
cause.
raise money, yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure, why not?
Yes, Lee Ellis is going to grow a mustache for the month of November, for Movember. This is a good cause here for men's health, of course. We'll tweet this out. We'll get it up on Facebook page. The actual link. You can go donate. What's our goal?
10,000.
10 G's.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you said you were going to donate $100 for every wedgie we get in the month.
In the month of November?
Yeah.
That's fair. Fan night tonight, guys. Rockets, Cavs, Warriors, Trailblazers. So don't change the channel.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, if you're wearing shorts, you gotta watch yourself when someone sneezes.
Brace the night, people. Yeah. Goodbye, clean lip.